The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM here in Accra. We're also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com, and affiliates across all 16 regions of Ghana, including Kekeli FM Ho, Bishara Radio Tamale, KTU Radio Kufaridia, Oil City Radio Takrady, and Castle FM Cape Coast. We're also live on X Spaces, Facebook, and YouTube. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. And coming up this afternoon, grand ceremony underway in the Volta regional capital of Ho as the country honors its gallant farmers today. Meanwhile, there's fresh push by farmers for the reduction of interest rates on loans taken for farming activities.
There are more excesses than the money can buy. But I think all in all, we are hoping and praying that hopefully more money will be released for us to be able to mop up the excesses. But I think it's also important to know that yes, there's been some effort by the buffer stock to be able to mop up some of these grains on the market.
Center for Democratic Development Ghana joins CSOs, including Imani Africa, in opposing calls for the majority in Parliament for the scrapping of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, describing the debate as a distraction.
And so on. So this noise, I think for me, is a distraction in the first. So I think this is a complete ruse. It's not that for some reason, since this office was established, both parties have.
Government gives green light for two major agreements for the purchase of 4 helicopters and a jet as part of efforts to retool the Ghana Air Force.
We ensured by due diligence that the 4 helicopters that are going to be procured from Airbus meet the requirements by Captain Fojo and his team.
Also coming up this afternoon in sports, it's a day of reckoning for Ghana as FIFA conducts the 2026 World Cup draw later today, with the Black Stars potentially set to face heavyweights such as Argentina, Spain, Germany, Brazil, and France in the group stage. These and more with me, Kenneth. Gyasi, this is Joy News. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Details shortly. And this afternoon, grand ceremony is underway in the Volta regional capital of Ho as the country honors its gallant farmers today. Shortly, we'll take you to Ho for updates on that. Ahead of the ceremony, though, farmer groups have been demanding a reduction in interest rates on agricultural loans. Speaking on the AM show on Joy News, they warned that high lending rates are crippling cultivation, worsening production costs, and pushing market prices beyond the reach of consumers. Nana Obuadie is president of the Peasant Farmers Association.
If you go to many financial institutions as we speak, they are not willing to advance loans towards agriculture because they think that the sector is very risky. And that is why we require government policy. Of course, the issue of Agriculture Development Bank, if you look at their loan portfolio as we speak, how much of their loans go into agriculture? But this bank was established purposely to advance the agriculture sector. So we believe that governments still have to go back and look at the policies underpinning the Agriculture Development Bank, and government, of course, just like government is going to do for the Women's Bank, there should also be some financial support and other incentives that will be given to farmers to encourage them to expand production around this country. And of course, marketing is very key. So in as much as we are supporting production, we equally expect that the marketing channels will be developed so that as farmers, we can sell the produce and be able to sustain our business. Very, very crucial to us.
So as we celebrate Farmers Day, what would be the biggest announcement that this government will make that will make you feel that this government is serious about farming and would want to take it from where it is to the level we're all expecting?
Okay. Yeah, for us in the association, one of the biggest announcements we want to hear from government is bringing a finality to the issue of producing so much and not finding enough markets. So we will expect that government will reinforce the policy that was announced in Parliament by the Minister of Finance, that the public institutions, of course, the Minister of Finance was talking about public schools. We will want to hear that the scope should be extended to include other public institutions, that they should be sourcing their food produce locally from Ghanaian farmers. And this time around, we don't only want it to remain at a policy level or just at the announcement level. We will want, as an association, to see a published data of all those who have been given contracts by government institutions to be buying from us.
That's the president of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Nana Obuadia. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber for Agribusiness Ghana, Anthony Morrison, is warning of an imminent food crisis if the food glut situation is not addressed. Speaking on Joy News' PM Express Business Edition, he indicated that the current situation has left farmers distressed and communities vulnerable.
As we speak, there are about over 70% of rice fields that are about to be harvested. So even the noise that we are making now is even little of what we are talking about, the reality of the situation. The point is this. This year, we are talking about glut. Next year, if care is not taken, a lot of these people, because they had produced last year, they couldn't sell. And these are people who are in the rural economy. And Christmas is coming. Okay? They need money to be able to make some merry and here and there. This year they have produced, they couldn't sell again. Next year, they will not produce at all. And what will happen?
With the current extent of the illegal mining activities, former General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karawe, says it will take time to address the Galamsey crisis.
You can see that but then there's one that is very, very threatening the agricultural sector. That is Galamsey, you know, and climate change as a whole. But it will take time to address the Galamsey factor, because all of us are aware of that. That even if you stop Galamsey today, the effect will be with us for some time, which we need to have patience for that.
Edward Karawe is a former General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union. Meanwhile, Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, John Dumelo, says the government is committed to ensuring the needs of the farmers are addressed.
Well, you know, when you look at the glut issue, it's either you look at the glass half empty or half full. But we have been very optimistic. We have always said that at least there is abundance of food. A lot of farmers have produced. But what is the next step? The next step is to be able to mop it up. The next step is to be able to set up processing facilities across the country in anticipation that if another glut happens, hopefully next year, we'll be able to mop up these excesses. But so that's what I'm saying. It depends whether you look at it half empty or half full. But we are quite happy that at least there's abundance of food. We are quite happy that at least prices of food have reduced or in some cases been relatively stable. And we just hope and pray that that remains like that for the next couple of months.
Let's now crisscross the country to gauge the mood of how the Farmers' Day are being celebrated. Let's begin from the Volta region, where the national commemoration of the Farmers' Day celebration is taking place. And our correspondent, Ivy Setoji, is joining us for more. Ivy, has the event started? And what really is the mood in the region?
Yeah, so the event started about almost 2 hours ago. And some series of speeches have been read. Currently, the Minister for Agric is giving his speech. And so the mood in the region is that of excitement. People are happy. The residents are excited for the fact that the national program is brought to the Volta region. They are also calling for access roads to farms so they can easily take their farm produce to market easily so they don't get go bad. So the mood in the Volta region, as we speak at the host sports stadium, is that of excitement and jubilation as we mark the National Farmers' Day.
Ivy Setoji, thank you very much. To the Upper West region now, my colleague Rafiq Salam joins us on the line. Rafiq, you've been speaking to the regional director in charge of farming. What has he been telling you?
He's been talking about the challenges that people face in their attempt to bring food to our table. We talk about the high prices in talking about inputs, particularly fertilizer, and then also a host of our articles. So he's appealing to government if they can really subsidize farm inputs for the people to enable them have increase their acreage in terms of their farmland. But the event is currently taking place in the Upper West region at all 11 municipal district assemblies in the Upper West region. And currently, I am at the Warwas district, at the to precise as Siriwiri, where the Warwas event is taking place. And so the event just started, and it's really a good atmosphere to be at.
Well, thank you very much, Rafiq Salam. He reports to us from the Upper West region. Let's head to the Western region now and speak to Inathalia Kwansa. Inathalia, what can you report from your region?
Okay, so in the Western region, the regional celebration is being held at Aguna Kwatsa in the Ahanta West municipality. It is yet to start, but ahead of that, I have spoken with the regional director of agriculture, Nana Benyin, who says that yes, the Western region still has prospects of feeding the country, but we are still battling with the issue of illegal mining, and then he hopes that in the years ahead of us, something better can be done, as the Regional Security Council is always on its move to, clamp down on these illegal miners. But the mood here is very promising. You see the farmers coming out with all joy.
Thank you very much, Inathalia. Let's go back to the Volta region and touch base once again with our correspondent, Ivy Setoji. Ivy, we understand that most dignitaries, including the president, is in town. What have they been saying?
Well, the president is yet to speak. I guess he'll be the last person to speak. Well, currently, the agri minister is giving his speech, telling the residents, the award winners, and that government will address most of their issues, so they should keep faith with the government. The fisheries minister also spoke a while ago before the agri minister. So what she was saying was that they will improve the services to fisher folks next year. That's for the Minister for Fisheries. So for now, the agri minister is giving his speech. And then after that, after other speeches, the president will give his speech as well.
Ivy, thank you very much. We can now listen to the Agric Minister, Eric Opoku.
Science, mechanization, irrigation, livestock development, climate-smart technologies, and digital agriculture. For decades, many of these findings have remained on the shelves, unseen by the farmers and unutilized by industry. This year's IRD platform has therefore opened a new chapter by bringing research to the public domain through national live telecast. We are confident that with the establishment of the government research fund, this innovation will finally transition from the laboratory to the field, where farmers can benefit directly and Ghana's agricultural transformation can be accelerated. We applaud all participating institutions for their leadership and commitment. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is endowed with enormous agricultural potential, and with the right investment and determined leadership, our country will soon emerge as the food nation of Africa. As we celebrate today's award winners, we must also renew our national commitment to supporting the agricultural sector. Every cedi invested in agriculture yields exponential returns in food security, jobs, industrial expansion, and national stability. I therefore extend a renewed appeal to corporate Ghana to continue partnering with the ministry. Your sponsorship, technical collaborations, and financial support remain essential to honoring our farmers and scaling the innovations required for a resilient food system.
That's the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, speaking at the event in the Volta region. And two other stories this afternoon. Governance think tank Center for Democratic Development Ghana has joined a growing list of civil society organizations pushing back against fresh calls from the majority in Parliament to scrap the office of the Special Prosecutor. On Thursday, Majority Leader Mahama Yarga told the House the OSP is unconstitutional and no longer fit for purpose, insisting it must be abolished. Parliamentary correspondent Kuku Asante reports.
Special Prosecutor Kisia Jibin is coming under intense pressure in Parliament, where the minority and majority sides all turning their guns blazing right on him. It started with Roxy Nelson Dafiamekpo, the majority chief whip, raising significant issues with the arrest and detention of popular lawyer and media commentator Martin Kwebu.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor has abused his powers in this matter. We created the office. We shall be inviting him.
On their side, the minority were not opposed to this call. However, they pointed out to what they describe as the hypocrisy of the majority when it comes to these matters.
And today he's complaining because it is his friend. The minority leader, Osahin, has been raising this matter over and over again, that the investigative bodies are weaponizing their powers.
But about an hour or so later, when the Speaker of Parliament himself took the chair, this matter came up again.
A number of us stated on the floor of this house that there's no constitutional basis. We cannot continue to allocate that huge sums to the same office when we are not getting the results.
The majority leader, Mahama Yariga, who was opposed at the time this office was set up, did come in again and insisted that there must be efforts, whether led by the government or from within Parliament, to repeal the law that set up the office of the Special Prosecutor and abolish the office.
Tell me what is really the achievement of that office. What has been the achievement of that office? I believe that it is high time that this Parliament reconsiders its decision to approve the establishment of the Office of Special Prosecutor.
And there's been fierce pushback from several CSOs since this pronouncement was made, and one of them is CDD Ghana, with its Director of Policy Engagement and Partnership, Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante, describing the calls as a distraction and a ruse.
Which was secured under Mr. Martin Medu. They began to refurbish it. The first budget that the OSP got really to begin to set up that office was in 2022, when the government voted, and most of 2023 even trying to get the office ready and all of that. So in reality, operationally, the OSP began to do serious work in 2024. So when people make these accusations that, in 8 years, what the OFP got to show for it and so on, it's a new office. There are many frontline offices that have been there for years, some since our inception. Nobody is crying out that we should scrap them because we have not tackled corruption, effectively, and so on and so forth. So the evidence is there. We can look at the work that they have done currently, the prosecutions that they are leading, and so on. So this noise, I think for me, is a distraction.
Dr. Kojo Pumpuni Asante is the Director of Policy Engagement and Partnership at CDD Ghana. Now, Parliament has approved 2 major procurement agreements valued at approximately 178 million euros to support the urgent retooling and modernization of the Ghana Air Force fleet following the recommendations from the Z9 helicopter crash findings. The package, designed to halt the rapid decline of the nation's aerial defense and transport capabilities, includes the purchase of 1 Falcon 6X jet and 4 Airbus helicopters. And my colleague Collins from Point joins me in the studio with details of this. Collins, how much are we spending on each of the aircraft?
So the contract between government and Airbus helicopters for the supply of 1 H160 and 3 H175 aircraft is estimated at 126 million euros. For the Falcon 6X jet from Dassault Aviation, government will pay $60.68 million in all. The total investment amount roughly to 178 million euros.
And what's the mode of payment going to be like?
We are not making payments in full. Based on the agreement approved by Parliament, payments will be done in installments with payment scheduled beginning this month. Initial payment is 62.5 million euros, followed by subsequent payments in May 2026, March 2027, and December 2028.
Well, thank you very much, Collins. And the Environmental Protection Authority has begun a comprehensive review of the National Standards Government Ambient Air Quality, Point Source Emissions and Motor Vehicle Emissions, a move aimed at tightening regulation. The move comes as air pollution kills at least 28,000 people annually in Ghana. That's according to the World Health Organization, with vehicle emissions and open burning among the country's most dangerous pollution sources. Director of Air Quality, Selina Amwa, who delivered the statement on behalf of the EPA CEO, believes the move will help to cut pollution in the country. She was speaking at the Breathe City stakeholders convening in Accra.
The LI requires various undertakings to go through the environmental impact assessment and institute appropriate measures to manage environmental impacts from their operations, and to conduct environmental assessment, monitoring, inspection, and audit, and performance and public disclosure systems to regulate or control air emissions from permitted undertakings. Development of the Ghana standard for environment and health protection requirements for ambient air quality and point source emissions, and the Ghana standard for health protection requirements for motor vehicle emissions in collaboration with the Ghana Standards Authority and other stakeholders. These standards are currently being reviewed to improve their relevance and applicability in accordance with best practice. The authority also collaborates with other institutions or bodies to promote environmental management.
And this story was in collaboration with New Narratives. Funding was provided by Clean Air Fund, which had no say in the story's content. And when we come back from the break, it's a day of reckoning for Ghana as FIFA conducts the 2026 World Cup draw later today, with the Black Stars potentially set to face heavyweights such as Argentina, Spain, Germany, Brazil and France in the group stage. We'll be back after this.
When I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth with Kale Charcoal toothpaste. This gives me confidence all day.
Anytime you meet Amma, don't be surprised I smile showing my beautiful white teeth because I don't have cavity thanks to Kale Charcoal toothpaste for its natural charcoal properties. In fact, we are like twins. I can't go without my Kale Charcoal toothpaste.
That be why I dey use Kale Charcoal toothpaste morning and night when I dey go bed safe. It dey make my teeth white when it dey comot every scent from my mouth inside. My confidence level they go up, so I dey show my 32 teeth all.
Introducing the Kale Charcoal toothpaste, formulated with activated bamboo charcoal powder, ensures whiter teeth and removes bad breath. The strong natural property of the activated bamboo charcoal removes bacteria, absorbs surface stains on our teeth caused by coffee, wines, and tobacco. Welcome, Kale Charcoal toothpaste. Kale Charcoal toothpaste, Sankofa Yenchi.
Kale, happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
In the name of the Lord Jesus, let there be a performance of your word and your word only.
The world gathers at Action Chapel International for Impact 2025 with the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Apostle Joshua Selman, Apostle Isi Igenegba, Reverend Eastwood Anaba, Bishop Bernard Odri Asari, Reverend Dr. Robert Ampia Kofi, and Reverend Dr. David Entry. Theme:
let there be a performance.
It's Sunday to Sunday of word, worship, prayer, divine encounters.
There is an anointing coming on you.
From Sunday, 30th November.
It is time for the heavens to move.
Through Sunday, 7th December.
I see somebody, you will arise.
Mornings at 9 a.m. and evenings at 5 p.m. at the Action Chapel International, Sprinters Road. Don't miss this year's special Impact Sunday joint services. 8 a.m. both Impact Sundays. Impact Friday services from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and all night from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. the next day.
Can't miss it. Look forward to seeing you. Be there.
Dear Santa, I don't want a lot this holiday. All I want this holiday is on DSTV, so I can watch all my favorite kids shows on Cartoon Network, Nick Jr. and Nicktoons. Also, Daddy can watch all his football games, and Mommy can watch all her telenovelas.
Ho ho ho! No Bronya Coco this Christmas. Get yourself or gift that special person a DSTV decoder as a Christmas gift today at 89 Ghana cedis. DSTV, your home of entertainment.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
and I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community go win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
You're welcome back to the Midday News, and it's a day of reckoning for Ghana as FIFA conducts the 2026 World Cup draw later today. Placed in Pot 4, Ghana could be drawn against some of the world's most formidable teams, including Argentina, Spain, Germany, Brazil, and France for the group stage. Joining me now to understand what is most likely for the Black Stars is Achu Tamaklo with our sports desk. Achu, this year's draw is unique with more countries than ever participating. Can you explain how this will affect the group pairings?
Well, what it means is that we have 48 teams instead of 32. That's 16 more than you usually have. And so it will create an additional round of knockout matches for the World Cup. So instead of 16 teams advancing to the first knockout round, as has been the case since 1998, there will be 32 making it out of the group stage. That means not only will all 12 group winners and, of course, the second place teams advance, but also the eight of the best third place teams will progress. What that means is that a team could finish with just 3 points from the 3 matches and still manage to secure qualification. Now, the specific matchups for the round of 32, obviously that's going to depend on which groups the 8 third best place teams are going to come from. So that is the slight tweak or the impact of having more teams, 16 more teams than usual.
These teams that we are likely to face, there's more than 15 World Cups between them, and everyone is eager to know who Ghana will face, as it could determine how far we will go in the tournament. Which of these 5 teams that we've mentioned should you think Ghana should have a chance of qualifying if we are to face them?
Well, as far as our draw options are concerned, much as facing the host nation is always difficult, I think getting one of Canada, USA, or Mexico from Pot 1 is going to be our best bet because, look, I would fancy our chances against these countries than taking on the might of Spain, France, or Argentina. As good as the Black Stars have performed at the World Cup, whenever we come up against the top seeds in the competition, the best we have managed to secure is a draw. Italy beat us in 2006. In 2010, Germany beat us by 1-0. In 2014, when we met Portugal, they beat us. When we met Portugal again in 2022, they beat us. I think our best performance against the top sides would have been the 2-2 against Germany in 2014. And so I would think that the Black Stars' best bets from Pot 1 will be against Canada, Mexico, or the United States of America. From then on, it is anybody's game, really, as far as the pot pairings are concerned, because in Pot 2, you could get a fairly negotiable draw if you land Switzerland. Right. Japan seem to be a bit tough, or even a country like Iran.
And the coverage, of course, is going to be live on our various channels. Give us details briefly.
Well, we've got a very extensive coverage that starts from 4 p.m. So we'll give listeners a sneak peek of what's to come at 1 on Game Plan today. But the real juice is going to be on that special coverage that's going to be across all of our channels on TV.
Achu Tamaklo is with our sports desk. Thank you. And it's now time for What's Trending, and Collins Frimpong is here with the latest. Collins, what are people saying on social media?
Yes, it is Farmers Day and everybody is celebrating our farmers. They have been producing food for us, and they are trending number 1 on X with 2,511 posts there. And there have been a lot of comments coming in there. Kofi Amwaben says that our farmers are the quiet heroes powering Ghana's progress. Your dedication keeps our nation alive. Happy Farmers Day.
Thank you very much, Collins. And that's how we end the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Kenneth.